Okay, let's dive right into this incredibly fascinating financial blueprint that literally takes everyday gig economy income and systematically structures it into a massive corporate entity. Welcome to today's explainer. We are going to be unpacking the real-life strategy of a creator who looked at everyday driving and delivery apps and decided to use them not as an income ceiling, but as the ground floor for a multi-million-dollar C Corp. We're going to break this explainer down into 4 crucial phases. First, the family LLC strategy, then funding, credit, and grants, followed by using AI as your co-founder, and finally, building the C Corp empire. So to really wrap our heads around this, picture this. We are following the real-life journey of a 55-year-old creator who isn't exactly some Silicon Valley tech insider. He just had this incredible realization that his daily routine of driving for Uber while his wife delivered for DoorDash was actually the perfect seed capital for a massive enterprise. It's so easy for us to view gig work as this endless hamster wheel, but with the exact right legal structure, those rides are actually your initial investor capital. The math here is remarkably simple. Honestly, if one partner makes a modest $150 a day from ride sharing and the other brings in $150 from deliveries, that combined $300 a day is highly consistent cash flow. It absolutely proves you do not need fancy angel investors to get started. You literally just restructure the cash you're already making.
All right, so let's kick things off with phase 1, the family LLC strategy.
Basically, by legally pulling this household gig income into what we call a family LLC bank account, you force financial institutions to view your wealth in a completely different way. You instantly step out of the individual gig worker algorithm and step right into the cash-flowing corporate entity algorithm. And that sets the absolute perfect stage for institutional leverage.
Think of it as a total paradigm shift. If you just operate as a sole proprietor, you're leaving yourself fully liable and totally capped by your own personal credit limits. But funneling 6 figures of combined gig income through an LLC, that changes the risk profile entirely. Banks will literally start treating you as a business that's capable of handling corporate fleet accounts and scalable financing, all while completely shielding your personal assets. It's brilliant.
Moving right along to phase 2. Funding, credit, and grants. This is where we scale up using other people's money. The creator mapped out a very specific 3-step sequence to fund his vision. And the best part is, he did it without digging into his own pockets or trashing his personal credit score. Step 1, you get the right modern banking setup. Step 2, you hunt for free money. And step 3, you systematically build corporate trade lines. Let's break down exactly how he executed this. Now, what's really wild is how accessible modern business banking actually is today. By using simple fintech tools like Relay, this creator established a totally legitimate corporate footprint with just $100 and a quick video verification right on his cell phone. And here's the crucial part. Once that revenue starts flowing in, these platforms report directly to the major business credit bureaus, which builds your corporate score automatically in the background. Now, before you even think about rushing into debt, the absolute smartest play is to navigate the grant landscape. Believe it or not, government and private organizations actually want small businesses to survive. Securing even a minor $10,000 grant, specifically earmarked for payroll or marketing, injects a massive amount of legitimacy into your new account for when the big banks eventually come looking. Okay, so once you've got your banking and your grants sorted, you systematically build up your business credit. And 15 is the absolute magic number here. Once you hit 14 or 15 trade lines on your business, you hit a tipping point where you no longer need a personal guarantee. You can literally walk right into a commercial dealership and lease fleet vehicles using strictly your business EIN. Your personal social security number is completely left out of it. Which brings us to phase 3, and honestly, my favorite part: AI as your co-founder. So how exactly does a 55-year-old guy with zero tech background suddenly build a software agency? Simple, by treating AI models like a corporate board of directors. If you pit Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude against each other, you can extract incredibly refined strategies. You use ChatGPT for those deep, complex business blueprints, Claude for the raw coding logic, and Gemini for rapid operational troubleshooting. And you get all of this without paying a single dime in consultant fees. Get this, without knowing a single line of code, our creator used Google's Gemini to build a working, integrated AI prototype for his agency in just 10 minutes. 10 minutes! The point wasn't to program some flawless, ready-to-ship consumer product. It was just to build a tangible prototype to prove the concept and show the massive vision of his company to bank managers and investors. If you're sitting there thinking, okay, But how do I even come up with a tech idea? Well, here is the exact prompt framework he used. First, you feed the AI information about a smaller existing app. Second, you ask it to aggressively identify that platform's flaws. And third, you command it to generate a software blueprint that solves those exact problems. You bring the vision, and the AI writes the entire architecture. It's that easy. Finally, we hit the game end with Phase 4, building the C Corp empire. Now, obviously, you don't just jump straight from the couch to a tech empire overnight. This is a very calculated, escalating, self-funding journey. Think of it like a chain reaction. The daily gig work funds the LLC. The LLC secures the credit lines to fund the AI agency, and then that AI agency generates the blueprints and the early revenue to justify launching the ultimate C Corp parent company. Now, you might be asking yourself, why upgrade to a C Corp anyway? Well, it's all about how Tier 1 banks view them. Your initial LLC can operate just fine on a virtual address and get funding from fintechs or credit unions. But a C Corp with a physical, brick-and-mortar location, even just a really small, inexpensive office space, is completely necessary at this final stage. Top-tier banks like Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo overwhelmingly prefer the C Corp structure for those massive, multi-million-dollar funding rounds, or if you ever decide you want to take the company public. To keep that big C Corp fueled, you basically build a closed ecosystem. The original LLC uses its business credit to lease vehicles, which, by the way, is a 100% tax write-off. You then rent those cars out to brand new gig workers, which generates a passive $300 to $400 a day. That daily cash flow is what actually pays the human coders to execute your AI's blueprint, prepping your parent company for a massively lucrative exit. This whole blueprint really boils down to one profound mindset shift regarding generational wealth. Like the creators said, the ultimate goal is to build a life where you own absolutely nothing in your personal name, but you control everything through trusts and corporations. Whether it's the cars you drive or the house you rent, putting it all under a corporate umbrella provides the ultimate legal asset protection, all while making you highly leverageable to the big banks. The crazy thing is, the tools to actually do this, the fintech banking, the grant databases, the world's most powerful artificial intelligence, they are all just sitting there, freely available right now. The roadmap from everyday gig worker to corporate CEO is fully laid out. So the only question left to ask yourself is, what empire is hiding inside your daily gig, and when are you going to take that very first step? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and we will see you on the next one.